Hello and welcome to Inside the Americas. I'm Rochelle Ferguson-Biahi. Coming up on the programme, we head to Brazil for a closer look at the world's first anti-corruption software. 4 young Brazilians are behind the exciting innovation. UN monitors in Colombia say FARC rebels have handed over the last of their weapons, marking a key milestone in a peace deal agreed last year. And a total solar eclipse will cross the continental US on August the 21st, with some of the best viewing locations expected in the state of Oregon. We begin with the photo of the week. Pictured is the Brazilian President Michel Temer at the Planalto Palace in Brasilia on June the 27th of this year. Well, Temer is rejecting a corruption charge brought against him by the country's top prosecutor, which he says is fiction, motivated by revenge. On Monday, Temer was formally accused of receiving millions of dollars in bribes from executives at the world's largest meatpacking firm. Staying in Brazil, we can take a closer look at the world's first anti-corruption software. It might not be capable of stopping the graft scandals which are engulfing Brazil, but it uses software to keep track of MPs' expenses. Well, behind the software are 4 young Brazilian geeks who plan to export their invention worldwide. Our correspondent sent us this report.
In a co-working space in Sao Paulo, the economic capital of Brazil, we have a rendezvous with Jessica and her friend Rosie, a digital investigator.
That's Rosie, that black screen. She downloads all the data concerning the reimbursed expenses of the members of parliament and analyses each claim.
Jessica was involved in the development of this truly unique software, a sort of lie detector for civil servants.
If the expense seems strange, she flags it as suspect and that it merits investigation. For example, here I have 13 meals in different towns on the same day for this deputy.
In less than a year, 1,000 denunciations have been sent to Parliament. Over 100 billion euros may have been embezzled. Although Rosie has no legal weight, the information published online on social networks are a persuasive weapon and encourages some people to reimburse.
Victor Lippi, for example, apologized and said that it wouldn't happen again. We hope that we will not see his name again anytime soon.
The programme is available to all, and for Alessandro Molon, the MP for Rio and an internet specialist, it is a salutary way for the populace to exert pressure.
We need a cultural change so that the Brazilian politicians understand that the Brazilian people will be holding them to account more and more, and expecting exemplary behavior from them.
Although Brazil is a champion in this field, parliamentary fraud is a problem elsewhere. Felipe Cabral, Rosie's co-creator, is currently in Italy, where he hopes to revolutionize the world of European politics.
The French could use it too, and in the future we'd even be able to analyse laws by cross-referencing the dates of lobbyist visits and laws passed.
He's hoping, over the next 3 years, to turn Rosie into an infallible weapon against corruption. He needs to hurry. Brazilian politics is rife with scandal and in great need of it.
Our number of the week is at 7,132. That's the number of weapons collected by UN monitors in Colombia this week. A ceremony took place on Tuesday, marking the complete disarmament of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. The FARC says its aim now is to become a peaceful, legitimate political party.
Adiós a las armas. Adiós a la guerra. Bienvenida la paz.
With those words, the leader of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia announced once and for all the group was laying down its weapons. President Juan Manuel Santos took to the floor to celebrate what he called the best news of the last 50 years.
No dejemos perder este momento.
Let's not let this moment go to waste.
Que es de todos.
This accomplishment that belongs to everyone, to every Colombian.
Un solo pueblo.
We are a single people. We are a single nation. Long live peace.
Y que viva la paz.
Full disarmament was a key element of the peace agreement signed last November by the FARC and the government. The The accord turns the page on more than half a century of armed conflict that has claimed over 260,000 lives, with 60,000 missing and 7 million displaced.
Now that the conflict is over, we're moving from an armed movement to legality and into a political movement. We no longer have to worry about all the deaths that have occurred.
The United Nations is tasked with supervising the process, and it's destroying the arsenal of some 7,000 fighters. One by one, guerrillas sign pledges not to take up arms again. Most will receive legal amnesty as they re-enter civilian life. The Marxist-inspired FARC will now attempt to transition to a peaceful political party with the aim of presenting a candidate in the 2018 general elections.
Well, time now for some news in brief. Republican senators have postponed a vote on their healthcare bill, dealing a blow to the party's long-promised repeal of Obamacare. Originally set for Thursday, the vote was rescheduled when it became clear that 8 Republicans would oppose it. Republicans can only lose 2 senators from the 52-member caucus. That's if the bill's to be passed in the upper chamber. The US Supreme Court has partially reinstated President Trump's controversial travel ban targeting citizens from 6 predominantly Muslim countries. Judges said the ban could now be enforced for travellers from the targeted countries who lack any bona fide links to the US. The court, however, ruled the ban could not be implemented against people who have personal links to America. And according to a survey by the Pew Research Center, Donald Trump's presidency has majorly impacted how the world views America. The survey found that in many countries, ratings for the US have plummeted. The survey spanning dozens of countries found a median of just 22% believe that Trump can act accordingly when it comes to international affairs. A total solar eclipse will cross the continental United States on August the 21st. The small town of Madras in Oregon and the surrounding Jefferson County are expected to be some of the best viewing locations because of their high desert location and flat landscape. Catherine Clifford reports.
Round Butte Peak will soon be crammed with tens of thousands of tourists, all jostling for the best view of the total solar eclipse. Down below, the town of Madras, population 6,500, is in full preparation mode. Narrow rural roads will have to cope with traffic jams of proportions never seen here before. Preparations coordinated between over 50 local, state and federal agencies have been underway for several years.
What we've asked our residents to do is get prepared ahead of time. About a week out, get their groceries, fuel up on propane, gas, whatever fuels they need, get their prescriptions, go to the doctor, do what you need to do, and then stay home.
Restaurants are stocking up on mass proportions of food. Every hotel here is fully booked, with rooms reserved years in advance. In the town of Bend, some 70 kilometers away, the average price to rent out a home on Airbnb at this time is just over $1,000 for the night. Farmers, too, are renting out their land as campsites fill up. Emergency services are concerned forest fires could break out, with so many people camping in hot, dry conditions and driving on forest routes.
Just driving off-road, having that contact with a hot muffler or a catalytic converter could start an ignition.
Local, federal and private crews and engines will be stationed around the area for backup. They've been planning for a worst-case scenario, evacuating tens of thousands of people while trying to get fire engines through traffic jams. Amid the chaos, there's excitement for the rare eclipse to come. Darlene Hoffman saw the last total solar eclipse here 38 years ago.
It was really something to see. It really was. That amazed me more than anything.
Total solar eclipses occur every few years. What makes this one special is that it will cut across the United States entirely for the first time in 99 years. And it will begin its path here in Oregon.
And finally, this year's winner of the annual Ugliest Dog contest in Petaluma, California, has been described as particularly cute. That's in comparison to past contestants. Well, Martha, a 3-year-old 125-pound black mastiff who was rescued when she was nearly blind, melted judges' hearts with her droopy face. Well, the mastiff beat off 13 other contestants to win prizes including $1,500, a trophy and a trip to New York. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. See you at the same time next week.